All right, welcome to Frank Teaches DevOps. All right, guys. Today's video is about monitoring Kubernetes cluster using Datadog. Right. So I've been longing to do this video, the integration between Datadog and Kubernetes that would enable um, Datadog to monitor all of all of the objects, all right, in a Kubernetes cluster, especially the pods, all right, the pods and the pods, the cluster, the services, the stateful sets, daemon sets, deployments. Yes, right. And this video is going to do all of that. And if time permits us, we shall also see how we can integrate Slack so that we could get notifications on Slack, our Slack channel, as well as our email inboxes. All right. So quickly, Datadog. What is Datadog? So Datadog is just an observability service for cloud scale applications, providing monitoring of servers, databases, tools, and services through a SaaS-based data analytics platform. So with Datadog, you can monitor the entire Earth. Believe me, that tool, the tool is rugged. Allow me to use the word rugged. Datadog is all encompassing, right? Is highly all encompassing. And I recommend Datadog for any organization. Okay, so that's that about Datadog. And this is my architecture and things I will be doing. So on one side I have Datadog, on the other side I have my Kubernetes cluster. All right. So let's start with my Kubernetes cluster. I have already set up my Kubernetes cluster. All right. So I have a cluster. I will be running some pods. There will be containers. If I'll have daemon sets, stateful sets, wherever. Then on the Kubernetes side, I'm going to follow the Datadog documentation to install the Datadog cluster agents. All right. So I have a documentation which I have already. Then here is my cluster kubectl get node, which is ready. Come on, baby. Okay, I must be logged in. All right. Okay, so if I do kubectl get nodes, I should have it that my nodes are ready. So that's perfect. Okay. So all right, let's go back to the stuff. So now, and on the Datadog side, I'm going to be installing the Kubernetes application, which is I'll do that via the integration blade. Then I'm going to be creating monitors, and I'm also going to be sending notifications via Slack channel as well as emails. All right. So let's start off. So this is the process. So the first, I'll be installing my agents on the Kubernetes cluster, and in turn, the agents will be sending metrics, forwarding metrics to Datadog. So there is the flow. So now I have a GitHub repository which I have arranged for this course. So if you look very well here, this is the Datadog documentation for this task. Okay, so I have made it so simple, such that um, I had to copy this manifest myself and make it as a manifest and copy this link, make it as a manifest and set it up in my GitHub repository for easy flow. For easy flow. So I'll be continuing from this side. But the first thing we need to do first is installing the cluster role agents arrow back, which is the role-based access controls for both the cluster agents as well as the Datadog agents. All right, so I'll be installing this to this cluster, this uh, um, these rollbacks, cluster roles and cluster role bindings. I'll be doing this installation, then we'll continue. So before we continue, I may need to also have a grab of my GitHub repository. Don't be worried. I'm going to share this repository with us, and yeah. So we also need this tool called password generator, as well as here's the link to the documentation, and this is the flow, the step you need to follow. Deploy the cluster agents arrowback.yaml file and followed by the arrowback.yaml file. So I have the cluster agent arrowback and arrowback.yaml files. Okay. All right. So yeah, so that's the flow. That's the flow, right? Sorry. That's the flow. Okay. So let's get started. So I'm going to clone my GitHub into this. So I don't have GitHub install sudo yum install git. So I just installed git. So I'm going to be cloning this repository. So copy this. Copy. It's been copied. So let's do a git clone. So git clone is going to get me that. So I should have Datadog monitoring. So if I change into Datadog monitoring, I should get this. Okay. So I all have there. So let me remove these two files I don't need. I don't need reads. I don't need details. So they are all gone. Okay. So these are the files. So the first thing first, install your cluster agents. So I'll say cube ctl get nodes. Let's check first if you are still connected. Yes, you are still connected. So I'll say kubectl apply minus earth cluster agent first. Cluster agent first. So it's going to install all the cluster roles. All right, role binding and role cluster role bindings. So the next one would be installing the arrowback.yaml. So let's check that first. So cube apply minus f arrowback.yaml. So this is what you need to do the second time. So this is going to create the service accounts, also cluster role and cluster role binding for the Datadog. So far we've done these two parts, which is two parts. So the next part is to create a secret file. All right. So create a secret called Datadog secrets, and then you should pass your Datadog account API key in here. So I'll be logging into my Datadog tenant. So I'll go to datadog.com. So I've already created a free account with Datadog. So my account is let me log in with my account, Frankish Teaches DevOps. So I'm going to be picking up my what's it called? My API key. So go to below here, your account name, go to your organization settings, and here's your API key. And yeah, so this is your API key, API created by you. All right, so grab the API key to your account, come to your, just paste it. That's my API key. All right, so I'm pasting it so I don't miss it. So go back to the Datadog documentation and copy this entire line statement as it is, paste it, and delete this part so that you can impute your API key, copy and paste. Bam. So we just created the secret called Datadog secret. So if I say kubectl get secret, I should get the secret we just created. Mind you, the cluster role YAML and the arrowback in YAML created these other secrets. All right, created a token as well as a cluster agent token. So this other one is the one we just created manually, which is Datadog secret. All right, so we are through with this part. The next phase is to generate a 32-bit character long string using base 64 encoding. Okay, so once that is generated, we shall use the token and use the token to place the token here to create a Datadog authentication token. So let's start with that. So I'll go to my GitHub repository. Below here, you see a tool, an online tool. It's a 32 character password generator. So right click on it, open a new tab. So I'm going to be creating a password with length 32 bits, 32-bit long. So I'll include letters, include capital letters, include numbers, so whatever. So I just need one quantity, one of it. So click on generate. So this is your password. So copy it, copy the password, come to, we'll do the same thing we did, paste it, that's it. Okay. Now go to your documentation, this is it, copy this statement, come over here and paste it. So we will be deleting this part and copy, perfect. Control C, Control V, yeah, and hit enter. Automatically, it's going to generate an encoded what's it called, version of this password. So if I want to get back this password, I can say echo. I will use the encode. This is the encoded one. Sorry. Control C, Control V. All right. If I want to echo it, I'll pass a pipe. I'll say base 64 minus D to decode what I did. So decoding that, you can see this and this is the same thing. Okay. So that's it. That's a secret. All right. So yeah. So we need to put that somewhere. So we need to put that encoded secret somewhere. Okay. So now we say Control V and delete this part, and copy the encode. So this is the encode, all right? Copy and paste and put an equal to. So hit enter. It's going to tell us that a secret token has been created. So if I say kubectl get secret, we are still going to get the secrets. So this is the Datadog authentication token. So we are fine with that. So the next one is to deploy the cluster agents as Datadog cluster agents, which like I said earlier, I've already done the good work by making it easier for us. All right. So I have that already. So check my directory. I have the Datadog cluster agents. I'll say cube um, CTL apply minus F Datadog cluster agents. So I'll hit enter. So this is going to create the Datadog service as well as a Datadog deployment. Okay, let's check our monitor. So this is everything I just created. Then we should test if is the Datadog cluster agent is up and running. So copy that link and then hit enter. We should get now. Oh, this is to create. Sorry, please. So, all right, this is to confirm if the agent is actually running in our cluster. Perfect. So the Datadog cluster agent is already running. Okay, great. So the next thing we need to do now is to deploy the node-based agents. All right. So for the node-based agent, I have a file which I've already arranged. It's called datadog agent.yaml. So I'll go back to my cluster and I'll do cube apply minus F datadog agent.yaml. So this is going to create a daemon set. All right. So that's great. So if I say kubectl get daemon set, so DS is a short form for daemon set. So it's going to show me the amount of daemon set I have. It's because I have two I have two worker nodes in my cluster. That's why I'm getting two daemon sets deployed. If the number of cluster nodes, sorry, the worker nodes were more like 3, 4, 5, I will have an equal number of daemon sets corresponding to the number of worker nodes running in my cluster. All right, so that's fine. So that's fine. So after this phase, we are all set. We are all set. We are all set. So yeah. Okay. So the next thing is, which obviously is running. Copy to get the ports. Paste that. You have the daemon set port running already. So we are through. This is a okay. This is the test. This to check for if the agent is now forwarding is now receiving. Let's check our diagram. This to check if the agent is now forwarding metrics to Datadog. Let's see, and if the cluster is connected to the Datadog server. Let's check with that command. So we'll paste it. So we are going to exec into the what's it called, one of the ports, the daemon set ports. So I would say PGJLK. I'm using this one here. I'm going to check the status of that port, right? So I'm going to check the status of that port. So according to Datadog, they said we should look out for this part, which is Datadog cluster agent. They said this part must be as this. It must be connected. That Datadog cluster agent endpoint detected. If this part is not detected, then there is an issue with your configuration. So it's now telling us that it's been successfully connected to the Datadog cluster agent. All right. So that's fine. We are good, man. We are good to go. We are good to go. So let's check the documentation. So this is it. So this is the same thing Datadog have said here. You have to check this part. So that's it. So now let's hop onto our Datadog environment and see if if the metrics are now flowing. All right. Let's now check. We've done all of this. All right. Let's see if the metrics is now flowing to Datadog. So I'll go to my Datadog. I've already done the integration. So on the Datadog side, where's our doc? So on this Datadog side, I will do the integration. So the integration is very simple. You just come to integrations. You click on integrations. So once you click on integrations, over here, you just type Kubernetes. Kubernetes, you will see Kubernetes integration. I've already installed it, so that's why you're seeing installed. All right. So click on it. If you've not installed it, you would have seen something else, something different. So this integration has not received any data in the last 17 hours. All right. So let's see what happens next. Okay. So I'll close it and I'll go to dashboard. So I'll click on my dashboard. I'm going to get different dashboards. All right. So for this, I want to see the cluster overview first. Click on Kubernetes cluster. Mind you, the name of my cluster is let's go back. If I do kubectl cluster info, sorry, cluster dash info, cluster dash info. Now Kubernetes running on this. Where's my cluster name? EKS cluster. My cluster name is EKS cluster. I don't know why I'm not saying it. All right. So let's check now. Let's check. So, oh yeah. So I'm getting something now. All right. So let's see. This is the scope and cluster. The cluster is EKS cluster. You can see, I can now see my cluster on Datadog. So from our diagram, you can see that Datadog has started receiving the metrics, all right, from our Kubernetes cluster. So let's check one more time. Let's check one more time. Datadog, where are you? Okay. Okay. So yeah, that's it. So I have one cluster. I have two namespaces. Let's check if that is correct. So if I do kubectl get namespace, default I have four namespaces, but why is it showing only two namespaces? No services. Maybe the or not all metrics have sync into Datadog. I have nine ports. Is this thing correct? Let's check. Refresh. Okay. The data are syncing gradually. They are syncing gradually. They are syncing gradually. Um, Now I need to specify the cluster itself. So click on the cluster. So that we get, now I have one cluster, still have It's telling me that I have four ports running. Let's check four containers as well. Let's check four ports running. Kubectl get ports. So how many ports? One, two, three. So that's not correct. But this is it. This is this is it. This is everything. So it's taking time to sync. All right. So you can see this is my EKS post running by namespace. Uh, okay, that was by namespace. Thank you. That was by namespace. All right. So we have keep system and we have default namespace. There are ports running in the keeps in the default namespace. There are ports also running in the keep system namespace. There's no container. Okay, okay, all right, perfect. Okay, so now let's look at. Let me still go back to my dashboard. Let me look at. Do I have services? Port overview. Port overview. So in the port overview, I don't have much. So I don't have much. So I'm just going to deploy one simple Nginx port. Let me look for a sample web app Kubernetes app. Let's just look for something sample which we can deploy in our cluster. Something easy. So this is a sample app. It's a deployment. Redis leader replica is one. I will have to make it two. So let me copy this. Do we have service? This is just the deployment, and here is the service. Okay. So let me just copy this as it is. Copy it. Just want to show us something. Copy. So come over here. Create a file. Let me call it Redis leader.yaml. All right. So this is just the Redis leader.yaml. So I'm going to paste all I've got. Perfect. So come down. Mm, I'll also want the service to be here as well. Dash dash dash. So come also create the service. Where are you? So here's the service. So copy the service. It's copied. And yeah, so paste it there. Pasted. So escape and save and quit. It's just a sample application. So kubectl apply minus f redis. Okay. So it's going to tell me that deployment created and service also created. So if I say cube, I didn't check the namespace, get SVC. To get service, I have the Redis leader service running. So if I check pod, so I think it's in a default namespace. So this is the pod for the Redis. So if I come to my Datadog, I should have that already sync. Let's check. By pod, let me check. By cluster, EKS cluster. By namespace, we have default two namespaces. Default. So I want to see those things that runs on default only. How many ports? Let's check. By deployment, okay, we have a Datadog cluster agent. It does not sync with the other Redis deployments. Let's see something. Let me refresh this page. Refresh. So let's check deployments one more time. So you can see we're now having our Redis leader. All right. So by deployments, we could get a Redis. So this is how you filter. There's no stateful sets. There's no daemon sets. Okay. So let's scroll down. You can see we have two pods running. We have a pod running, just a single pod. All right, this is the single pod. Where's the pod? Let's go down. uh Ports running by namespace is okay. Let's go down. Where's that? As you can see, this is the pod Redis leader. So this is the pod so far. All right. So this is how you do the level of monitoring. All right. So you can see how we've been able to integrate our objects in our Kubernetes cluster to Datadog. All right, Datadog. So let me still show us some other things. You can go to infrastructure and then you click on containers, Kubernetes. You can look at up at infrastructure list. Click on infrastructure list, so you're going to see a lot. So on infrastructure list, I only have two worker nodes. So these are my worker nodes. Yeah, two hosts is up. Infrastructure list. Let's go back to infrastructure list. I check containers. So under containers, let me see if I can see anything useful. Yes. So namespace, based on namespace, you can see I'm not getting based on namespace, default namespace, ports. Let me check ports. Oh, I'm not getting my Redis. My Redis is not coming here. Why? Services, no. Deployment, no. Redis, yeah, no. Refresh. Let me refresh. It takes time. These things take time. Takes time. Takes time. Pod. Takes time to sync. It will eventually sync. All right. Let's look at Kubernetes. Let's look at pods. It will eventually sync, but it takes time. Go back to containers. I don't know why it's not syncing. Okay, so that is the whole play. That's the whole play. All right. So let's now go back to dashboard lists and then see how we can set up monitor. All right. So cluster overview. Let's look at port overview. So on port overview, right, based on cluster is K8s Cluster, namespace is default namespace. I don't want everything. Deployment is Redis leader. So that's it. Or I can say everything. Let me just say everything. Asterisk is everything. So I need to see both everything running in my namespace. Okay, so at this juncture, let's see how we can do the next part, which is send notification to your email. So I want to see how we can send notification to our email because of time. So what I will do, I'll go to invite users. I'll click on invite users. So I'm going to invite users to my Datadog tenant. So I will be inviting my email address, frankisinfotech at yahoo.com. Okay, so the role I need to assign is admin role. I want him to have an admin role. So that's it. So I click on what send invitation. However, I've already sent an invitation to Frankie's Infotech. Hence, Frankie's Infotech is yet to accept that invitation. So let me cancel. So you can see here that I have a pending request from Frank. So if I delete it, let me delete that request and try to send it one more time. So I click on invite users. I say Frank Keys Infotech at yahoo.com. So I'm giving Frankie's Infotech an admin role. I click on what send invitation. So this will go. All right. So let's log on to Frankie's Infotech and see what we have. So I'll go to my email address. Okay, this is me. Go to my email address. I should see that. One second. I should see that. All right, so here's the invitation. You have been invited to join Tech's Datadog account. So Frankis this has invited you to join Datadog. So all you need to do just click on what join. So once you click on join, it's going to take you to the next page where account verify. Your account has been successfully verified. You can now head to the login page. All right, so now let's go back to here. So once I refresh, I should get a green bar. Why am I logging being logged out? So log back in Frankish Dishes DevOps. Okay, so I should see that Frank has accepted his invitation. Okay, so I can invite Frank to, I can send notifications to Frank. Okay, All right, so I also have this user. What's his name? Dinero leg. Okay, so I can also send notification to Dinero leg. So let's see how I can send monitor, create a monitor. So I'm going to go to dashboard list. So this is the best way to create a monitor. So I'll go to Kubernetes ports, and on Kubernetes ports, I'm going to select my cluster, K8s Cluster, namespace. Let me leave it at all. So I'll go to CPU. Let me look at port in ready state, port in bad state. Okay. So far, there's no port in bad state, but I want to also monitor ports that goes into bad states. So these are port phases. So let's check there. So click on this gear button. So once you click on the gear button, to give you two options: to view, to get the metrics info, and to create a monitor. So I want to create a monitor for port status phase. So I'll click there. I will look at the metrics that is most important to me, which is failed. Yes, failed. Port in a failed state. So I'll click on what create monitor. I need to end this video at the um, 35 minutes. All right, so this is everything you need to do. You don't need to do much here. That's all. It will set everything for you. So this is what you set there. You state um uh, ports in failing state. Okay, so who do I want to send my alerts, my notification to? So I want to send a notification to Dinero Lex. I'll say at, and I'll specify Dinero. So you can see I have Dinero here already. So if I want to send it to multiple persons, I'll say comma. I'll not say at two again. Frank teaches DevOps. Frank is Infotech. So this is Frank is Infotech. So I'm sending these two alerts to these two users because I've already invited them to my tenant. Okay. So if you've not invited them, you won't see them. All right. So that is it. So if this monitor stays longer, if this monitor stays longer in a bad in a failing state, the I should get a re-notification after 10 minutes. All right. Okay. So I can write anything here. Ports in failing state. Okay, so that's all. So I can just run a small test, check all the boxes. I will need to test for both alert and recovery. When there is an alert and when there's a recovery, I should get an alert for these two phases. So a test notification has been sent. So let's close it and what click on what create. So how do we know that a test notification has been sent? So I'm going to log into my what's it called? My Gmail account, and I'll go to more, and I'll look for all email. I should get a notification already. So this is the alert I'm getting: ports in failing state. So click on ports. This is the recovered test. This is how it will look like. All right. So let's check the other one, which is the failed test. This is a triggered test. So this is how you send notification from Datadog to your your email account, to your email inbox. All right. Because of time, I won't be going into the other part, which is sending notifications to Slack channel. But it's just so easy, so easy. Okay, 36. Let me do 36. So quickly, I can just log into my Slack channel. Slack channel. Let me see if I can meet up. So I have different Slack channel here. So I'm going to use this. Frank teaches DevOps. Launch Slack channel. All right. Continue on the browser. I want to continue on the browser because I already have a Slack channel I use. Okay, so let me just show us. So I've already integrated. Okay, let me just do a fresh integration. So this is what I would do. So simple, so easy. Come up, please. Come up, come up, come up, come up, come up, come up, come up. Take some time. Let me pause the video. So I'll be creating a new Slack channel. So let me create a new Slack channel, and let me call that Slack channel Datadog alert. So let's create. So I've just created. No, do not add anybody for now. All members, just create. Okay, so this is the Slack channel. All right, so I'm going to click on this drop down and I'll go to integrations, and I'll click on what, add an app. So click on add an app. So once you come to click on add an app, you come here and search for what, Datadog. So you see Datadog and just click on what, add. So once you click on add, um, it's already added, but we need to connect the accounts. All right, so this is on Slack end. So go to Datadog end. So what you do on Datadog end is just simple, very simple and straightforward. So go to integrations, click on integrations, and then search for Slack. I've already installed it. You have to install the application, right? So this you've already installed. Okay, so yeah, so once you've installed this, you now click on add a Slack channel. So I already have this added already. So Datadog alerts, which I just created. So this is the Slack channel I just created, Datadog alerts. Okay, so you come back here, it's added, right? So everything has been added. So the next thing I need to do is to go back to my Slack channel and invite Datadog slash invite at Datadog. All right. So I'm going to invite Datadog into this channel. Click enter. It's now telling me that Datadog is already in this channel. All right. So let's look at some Datadog commands we can type. Um, Monitor. Let's see some things. Slash Datadog. Okay, monitor my account tech done slash Datadog. Sorry, slash Datadog. I want to. Okay, all right. So let's see. We've been connected. Okay, you've been connected. So let's create. Let's create a notification that that will be forwarded towards to this Datadog channel. So let's go back to our monitor. So let's look for. Let's go back to dashboard list, and go to port overview. So I need to create one more monitor. So let's look at ports in ready state. So click, I want to know ports in bad state. All right, click this, create a monitor, and ports in bad state. Don't do much. Just come here, give it a subject, ports in bad state. So this time around, I'm going to be inviting my Slack channel. So I'll say at Datadog. So I'll see that Datadog alerts. So I want to get an alert on my Slack channel. So that's it. That's it. So all you need to do, that's okay. So test your notification. I want both alerts and then recovery. So run a test. A test has been sent. So if I go to close it, if I check my Slack channel, I should see this notification. So I'm just getting this notification from Datadog. So ports in bar state as well as ports in bar state, both recovered and triggered. So far, 38. So far, we can now see how we could integrate our entire Kubernetes cluster into our Datadog environments and monitor our resources, our Kubernetes resources, thereby also sending notifications to both Slack and email. I hope you've enjoyed this session, and I thank you for your support, and I plead for you to share, like, and comment. By so doing, it will give us the ginger, right? The ginger to do more for you guys. So thank you, my lovely fans. See you in our next episode. Thank you.